Morning, folks. Pastor Chuck Blair here. Great to have you joining me this morning at 10 minutes of morning calm. You probably can hear from my voice, battling through some stuff, but we're moving on, and wanted to share this morning with you just a thought around contentment. It was an interesting piece reading through as we've been doing like this little tiny subsection around angels in heaven. And one of the really fascinating parts of it to me was just a little line in there where Swedenborg posits this. And again, take this stuff, with a grain of salt. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here, and see if this fits for you. What he said, angels never aspire to do nothing. And that may sound like a double negative, but it's kind of an interesting thought, right? Angels never aspire to do nothing. And you think about it in our lives, like how much of our time in our culture, like, oh, I can't wait till I just have nothing to do. And what's interesting is when we end up with nothing to do, how content are we? When we really, there's nothing. There's like zero, there's zilch, we're grounded, there's nothing going on. It can be pretty distressing, actually. So excuse me. So how do we hold that? How might we find a way to look at that a little differently? And a way I'd like to throw out there is just the idea of contentment. It's an interesting. I've been reading a lot about the fentanyl crisis in this wonderful book called The Last of Us, which is a phenomenal read if that kind of stuff perks your interest. And he was talking about how addictive behavior kind of feeds into the pleasure center of our brain, and real responsible connected behavior feeds into the contentment part of our brain. And the me part is all about the pleasure. The us part is all about contentment. I think much more we'll find the break over here that we need around the contentment versus just doing nothing. And we live such busy lives, such overstimulated lives, that obviously there are times to do nothing. I mean, I think this 10 minutes of morning calm in a certain way is doing nothing, quote unquote, sort of finding a different place to be. But I do think there's really something for us to consider. Yeah, what does it look like? Instead of this aspiration is, oh, I just wish I had nothing to do. Instead of just saying, no, my aspiration is to contentment. It's just to be content. Because here's the beauty of it, friends. So contentment works whether we're super busy or not. In other words, if I'm on family vacation and there's not a whole lot on the agenda for the day and we're just hanging out, I can be content with that. I can be very content with that. And when work is, the water's up to here, there's a bunch of things going on at work, I can still be content there as well. So we want to start to work at contentment being our baseline. And when we can do that, folks, I think, boy, that's such a healthier place to be. Such a healthier place to be. Because I don't know, like there's just something about that. Angels never aspire to do nothing. And I just think about myself and how I just feel like, oh, my aspiration is to just finally have nothing to do. And then you end up with these brief moments of that. And I think like, yeah, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. So folks, this week, let's just think about what contentment looks like. Like what's contentment for you? Not the pleasure centers of your brain but just that deep-seated contentment of your heart. And because you can feel it, right? We can just breathe. And there it is, just this contentment. And if I was to put words to it, it's the famous words of Teresa Avila, all will be well in all manner of well. I think that's the very essence of contentment. So that's the thought for today, folks. I hope that is helpful. And what we're going to do now, I actually don't have a bell with me today. I'm doing this from our home in Huntington Valley. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little breath, a little meditation, a little prayer, and a little blessing. So let's get started with that, folks. Let's all get a big breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and be still. be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right, friends. So let's take a look. Say hi to anyone who might have joined us today via social media. Again, I hope you folks are having a wonderful week ahead. I know the Blair family, we are getting ready for our vacation coming up next week, which will be a ton of fun. Looking forward to that a lot. We're going up to upstate New York. We've never done a vacation there. That is where our daughter got married, so we want to head back up that way. All right, a little cheery hello here. Okay, there we go. All right, Sue, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Kim, good morning to you. Marcus, good morning. Got to care about how you feel. It's your indicator how close you are to God. Yep, it's so true, Marcus. Marianne, good morning to you, my friend. Paige, good morning, and I hope you're doing well. Sherry writes, "Good morning. Feel better soon." Yeah, hopefully we're on the mend here. Uh, Carl writes, "Bonjour, blessings to all." That's very nice, Carl. Totally agree with that. Uh, Kim, I'm working at it. We're working at it. Jean, good morning to you, my friend. Jane, great to see you on here. Jane, Jane. By the way, what was her name? Bettina from Who Knows You Well was singing your praises on a New Church Live small group, which was great. Lee, as long as no angry conflict, I'm content. I'm good vacate. Yeah, it's really tough, right? Like, man, how do we find it even in those places? Maybe not possible. I don't know. Linda writes, "Be content in the now, no matter the circumstances, is something to reach for. I try. I may not always be there. Difficult yesterday when my dog puked. And, oh man, isn't it so true? Like I was just thinking how many times this is a silly little thing, but right, we could be having a good day and something little like that happens, or we're in a little fender bender or whatever, and it totally throws us off. And I think the trick is to find that contentment that is that peace which passes all understanding. And that's where we want to be. So, friends, wishing you all the best. May you have a day filled with a lot of contentment. And yeah, just wishing you well. Take care. Bye bye.